Do you remember about 2 months ago we had a conversation about the road to G20? We spoke about the policy discussions that had been happening across the country, and then of course what's gotten a lot of people's attention, fixing parts of the country so that we look like a host country. We're in Joberg at the moment, of course, where the Leaders Summit is going to be held at Nasrec. And of course, again, the contentious conversations have been, the spring cleaning that the administration has had to make sure goes into place to make sure that we look the part in terms of hosting not just the global leaders, potential investors as well. As you can see behind me, the closer we get to the Leaders Summit at the end of November, the more work is being done to clean up Joburg. That of course includes fixing your street lights, the guardrails, your road markings, the street lights, the traffic lights as well, and the grass cutting, right? So that's exactly what continues to be done around Joburg. Closer to the actual location of the meeting is of course Nasrec. Security protocols are also now being put in place. Now, you'll start to see that as we get closer to the Leaders Summit itself and closer to the venue at Nasrec, the security protocols tend to get a little tighter. There's a bit more police visibility, not just along the G20 routes, but at the actual venue. We're now at Nasrec, and certain areas around the precincts are already being closed off to the public. There's police vans, there's police on foot as well. And even entering the expo center where we are now, checks are being done, searches are being done on the vehicles coming in and out of that area. Here's where it actually gets interesting. Just the other day, a security expert was arrested here at Nasrec for trying to test the security protocols. He doesn't believe that South Africa has tight enough protocols in place to host the leaders of the G20 member states and some of the other invited guests. Police are a little cagey about what exactly it is that he did to try and test the security protocols, but he's now been arrested for trespassing.
That person came under false pretense to claim that he's there as a security expert to check his explosives for dogs, expert or whatever. But this person was a former police person. He never worked with explosives in his life. He was working something else. It's a 64-year-old man to face the charge of trespassing, but it's more severe because it's at a place where it's classified, security tight. It's not supposed to have been at that place. And currently we are still busy with further investigation because that trespass is the first charge for now. There might be other charges. We are in engagement with our National Prosecuting Authority, and we are still busy with further investigation, and out of that, more charges will be or might be added.
Now, of the 130 meetings that I said we've had across the country since we assumed the presidency at the end of last year, we're told we actually haven't had any instances where this sort of security breach has taken place. So this would be the first, and I imagine that the South African government would want to put across the message that they will not tolerate anything of the sort. There are reports already going around of a shutdown closer to the day from and by South Africans that are frustrated about service delivery in the state of South Africa. How far that's going to go and what measures will be put in place, we'll get a sense of a little closer to the time. But security is certainly a lot tighter as we get closer to the venue and the day itself.
No, we are ready. We already had information. We already know about those things. And the systems are in place. For example, people have got a right of protest in March. We already made arrangements for Speaker's Corner, where the people will be given a space to be listened to vent their frustration. But where the event will be the most secured, inaccessible unless authorized place. Therefore, the people will have that right, which is constitutionally given, but the summit and the proceedings will not even be hampered. There won't be any impact to destabilize or distract what's happening because of those protests.
The other part of the preparations is, of course, getting the simulations, or what we've been calling the dry runs, in place. Once we've got the aesthetics of it down to the team, what then follows now is making sure that the heads of state and their delegations are able to get from the airport through to the route at Nasrec in the precinct, as well as the surrounding areas where supplementary meetings will be held. So there will be some disruptions in the days leading up to the G20 Leaders Summit, either by way of the simulations of the dry runs, where it's really just a practice run of what it would look like taking the leaders from the airports, the various airports across the province, to the destinations that they need to be at. The disruptions will be especially along N1, N3, the N12, the R21, R24, R512, and then within the surrounds of the Nasrec precinct, so the Golden Highway will also see some disruptions. Coming in and out of Sandton, there will also be some disruptions there.
Then G20 announcement came. We had to start now getting up to preparing as a host province, working closely with our municipalities. This is a forum of mayors and MECs, as well as different stakeholders like the taxi industry and the unions, to discuss service delivery broadly as the host. Premier emphasizes we planned together and we executed it together. So everyone had to go look at what is it that I have, what is it that must be done. We were doing site inspections immediately after meetings, just to confirm what we get to be told in the meetings as presentation from reports. We had different CEOs of entities, national and at local government, as well as provincial government. We worked closely with AXA CEO on the state of readiness and preparing for the ports of entries. We have visited them. So there has been a whole lot of work. All these teams had to work together to make sure that we fast-track service delivery.
There will, of course, closer to the time, a publication of the exact routes that will be affected either by the dry runs or the actual Leaders Summit as we draw closer to it. But what you certainly don't want to see is what we've got going on right now, where you have your traffic lights that aren't working, adding only to the logistic nightmare that could be in the area coming into Sandton. We're along Greyston at the moment, and these traffic lights currently aren't working. And so I'd imagine, again, that's part of what local government or the city of Joberg would want to get in check first. But again, we've had those conversations with either the administration in Joburg or Gauteng, saying that's top priority in terms of getting that functioning properly. Nokukhanya, Mntambo from the Eyewitness News G20 desk.